You are listening to the 2.5 Weebs podcast, a show where two veteran anime fans drag a newbie down the rabbit hole of waifus, isekai, and fan service, as well as the happenings in the gaming world. Enjoy.
All right, everybody, welcome to another episode of 2.5 Weebs, joined by Comfy and Copper. As always, hello, how are you guys today?
Hello.
I'm doing all right. How are you doing?
Tennis ball. I'll do him one. There you go. Yeah, I'm doing okay. How are you guys?
Not bad.
Yeah. Busy. I know you're super busy.
I've done almost nothing this entire past week, so
Yeah.
I'm mostly just taking a break because I need it.
Yeah, it happens. Relatable.
Yeah.
But yeah, this week we watched Flcl or Fooley Cooley.
Or acid trip. You want to go?
It was something.
It was absolutely something. I had
Yeah.
a great time.
Yeah.
Of
Now,
the 3 episodes, I disliked the first the most.
I completely agree. I have an issue. It's right off the
And-
bat. So I tried to watch this on Hulu.
Yeah.
Hulu has 6 episodes of this. The first 4 are only in sub, and the last 2 are only in dub.
yes. Is there more than
that's-
6 episodes?
No.
Okay.
Each season
It's
is
just for-
there are 3 seasons, are 6 episodes each.
Okay.
Though like 2 of them came out in 2018, and this one came out in like sub 2010, I want to say. So like they're really far apart time wise.
Yeah, they've released 2 extra like shows.
Yeah.
That are just extensions of it, I believe.
Got it.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're basically like more. If you weren't watching this for the show,
Uh-huh.
I would have stopped after episode 1. Straight up. Because
Yeah.
of episode 1, I would have not watched episode 2 if we weren't actually going to be watching 3 episodes of the show.
What did you...
I have issues with how excessively random the show is.
Yeah, it's kind of just out of nowhere.
It's excessively random. I don't like, especially in the first episode, the art style is just all over the place,
Mm-hmm.
and that just grates on me. And a lot of the dialogue is just them saying like pretty much nonsense most of the time.
The dialogue of
A
the
lot of
entire
it
first
is.
episode was not great, and the voice acting on the English dub
Yeah,
for some of the characters was not particularly great as well.
gotcha.
See, I didn't watch the dub, so I can't speak to that. But
I made an effort to watch the dub.
it's
Uh-huh.
the original's not a great time in Japanese either. It's the voice actress, I should say, who plays the female main character is super annoying.
Yeah, I got that too.
Well, like
So
how this show starts out, you have this kid and he's hanging out under a bridge doing his homework, and there's a girl with him who kind of she wants to date him, I think. He seems
So-
uh
their relationship is a little weird. She's a friend into his brother, his older brother,
yeah.
who is in the States for baseball. It says he's probably there like a scholarship or something similar.
Probably.
And she's 5 years older than the kid, though.
Right.
Considering that she's like crawling all over him, it's hard to understand that. She even gives him a hickey. Like that's
Yeah.
like
I don't
so.
yeah.
It's their relationship is super.
Why
Super
is everyone
strange.
so into him? He's like 10.
He's 12. They do show his age in, I think it's episode 3.
Yeah, they
like,
did
yeah,
something
they show-
where they showed everybody's
They
age.
show him and both the girls' ages,
Yeah.
Yes, one is 19, one is 17,
and one's a question mark.
and then one's a question. She's 17 and he's 12.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's at the age to be interested in girls, but for
Probably not girls that are like twice his age.
she's 5 years older than him, which is a massive deal when you're 12 and someone's 17. That is a huge thing. And it's a little on the creepy side.
Just
Not gonna lie.
a little bit.
Not gonna lie, very, very on the creepy side.
I never thought I'd hear that coming from you, I'll be honest.
Well, I mean, we're talking about actual children here now. Like, it's not someone who's like 16 with another 16-year-old. This is literally someone who's 12 with a 17-year-old like trying to creep on him. It's weird.
Yeah.
Especially since she's drawn to look like she's a teenager, and he's drawn to look like what he is, an elementary school kid. So it's not like, oh, he looks older. It's no, he looks like he's 12.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what exactly was this show about?
I really don't know. Well,
Was it about is the chick an alien? Does she just hit people with a bass guitar?
I guess
There was a
don't
lot
know.
going on. I don't even know where the story
Yeah,
threads
just based on these 3 episodes, she claims to be an alien who's part of a police force kind of thing.
The what did she say? Intergalactic.
Police
Police
officer or something like that.
something,
Yeah,
okay.
she offers no like backup for it as a thing. And all we've known is that she likes to hit people with her scooter, and giant robots keep climbing out of this kid's head.
Well,
And-
after she hit him with the guitar, because
after she hit him with a guitar.
well, what happens is like when this kid and the girl, they are walking home, they stop at a vending machine to get a drink, and all of a sudden this pink-haired girl riding a Vespa like she shows up and just runs the kid over just about with her Vespa. And there's this whole obnoxious ass scene where they're like, "Oh my God, he's dead." It's like, no, he's not dead, idiots. It's obnoxious. And then they go home, and she hits him with her bass guitar at some point, and he's got like a red spot on his head. So he goes home, and then the next day, or is it later that night? I think it's later that night even. He's got like this weird looking square growth coming out of his forehead where she hit him. And
Yeah, he's got a square horn on his head.
yeah.
Yeah.
And he can kind of push it back in his head, sort of. So he just kind of bandages it up and then goes to school the next day. And
then just later at some point a robot pops out.
yeah.
Yeah, he goes to meet the 17-year-old because she came by to get bread because her family is kind of poor, so she's taking leftover bread from their bakery.
Yes.
Mhm.
And it's that's kind of what happens. And he goes meets her on the bridge, and they have a discussion. She falls down, kind of passes out.
Oh yeah.
And that's when the robot breaks out of his skull
Yeah.
and fights this other arm of a robot that also came out of his head. And
yeah.
then the alien chick shows up and it hits the fully formed robot with her guitar. And yeah. And
Well,
he
like
becomes a good guy.
The robot fights the other the robots
He
have a
fights the
fight,
other robot, yes.
and then she shows up and sucker punches the robot with her guitar, which isn't a punch, but doesn't matter. And then just that robot always just kind of hangs out, and it's now their friend. And then episode 2 is, I don't remember. I
Can't
don't
forget the robot eating him in episode 2.
Episode 2 is the episode where there's an arsonist going around town setting buildings on fire.
Uh-huh.
It kind of implies
That's
that the
right.
17-year-old girl set her school on fire when she's in elementary school.
Yeah. I remember that.
It also mentions that she gets bullied a lot by other people who are in high school with her.
Mhm.
Like they, like she's missing her shoes, and so there's like a good chance that she got shoved in the river and her shoes floated off because of like people bullying her and stuff like that. She's kind of a sad case, and it's not really known if it's because of like if the bullying is from the fact that the guy she likes went to America and apparently is like seeing someone over there, though that's not widely known, though she does get told that in the first episode. And or if it's the fact that she hangs out with an elementary school kid all the time, so or it could be the fact that she's poor. They don't say why she's being bullied, but there's a bunch of stuff going on, so it's hard to say.
There's a lot of reasons for her to be getting bullied.
Yes.
That's not me saying she deserved to get bullied.
No, it's just kind of what's going on with her, because people suck.
So what I'm trying to remember. I watched this so recently too. I should remember exactly what happened.
So episode 2 with the Arsonist. So that's going on. The kids are kind of like wondering what's going on. The 17-year-old thinks that the robot is an angel.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, from the video game that she plays on her phone where she burns down the entire city.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. So she thinks that, he's an angel because he's got wings and she's seen him going around and doing stuff. He's collecting these little red pieces from places. We don't know what they are yet because it hasn't really been revealed. And that's how you kind of end up at the school and stuff like that. We sound super disjointed because the episodes are massively disjointed.
It was very disjointed. It's kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
This series is extremely all over the place. Like the first episode, it switches to like a comic panel style for a bit, like from a manga. That's
I hated that.
Minutes.
Okay,
yeah, that's what turned me off the first episode completely. I'm like, I'm done.
I could not follow anything that was going on. It was too fast. I couldn't read it.
Weird because it was just the dad screaming, "Are you trying to fuck a girl in your room right now?"
Yeah, and then he got mad because he's like, "Oh, you've got this girl here, like that your brother who was into your brother, and now you've got this other like girl who also hit me with her Vespa. So it's like you're trying to get it with two girls." So it's like
I said, I couldn't fucking I couldn't.
Yeah, if you don't want, if you like.
I couldn't read it. I couldn't read it fast enough. It was just
if you want a story that is straightforward anime, like we're going straight forward, this is how things are. Yeah, this is not the show for you.
If you want a show that is what people perceive to be every kind of anime, this is the show for you.
This might be the show for you.
The dude gets a robot that grows out of his head. Then he gets eaten by the robot, turns into an anti-tank rifle, and shoots a girl who grew cat ears.
Yeah.
Like, the animation also, they did a lot of squashing and stretching. They did a lot of...
the animation is also kind of all over the place as well. It's...
It was weird. I enjoyed it, but god damn, it was weird.
It's a very... Like, this anime is going to be off-putting for a lot of people because of the voice acting, the story being super disjointed and not making sense. They don't explain what the fuck's going on at all in the first 3 episodes, which, by the way, is half the season.
Yeah.
For those wondering, like, that's half the season of the show, the first 3 episodes that we've watched. Like, nothing is explained. We don't know what's going on in general. They leave a lot of plot heads just kind of dangling, like, out there and don't even make an attempt to explain them. So, and the show is also super old. So because of that, you're also dealing with extremely old animation style stuff. So
yeah, like the backgrounds are really washed out and similar budget saving things. like the entire sequence in the first episode where it was just manga panels getting flashed between them as quickly as possible. And even with the dub, I could not keep up with everything that was going on because they were just screaming.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't like it. There was too much just random shit going on. What even happened in episode 3?
Episode 3 is the play.
They talk about Crystal Pepsi a lot.
Oh, yeah? That's fun.
Yeah, they just brought up Crystal Pepsi as like oh yeah, I bet they're still selling Crystal Pepsi at this store. And hey, if you sell my article, I bet we can get rid of all your Crystal Pepsi for you. It was just weird.
Yeah, okay.
The whole thing is very...
It is
very
bizarre.
So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I didn't like it. I don't think I don't know. There's probably people that would enjoy it, but I'm not.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I heard great things about this show. That's why I wanted to watch it, but it just...
Yeah, I don't think there's anybody I can actually...
Was it a good time sink? Yeah. Do I have any idea what happened over the 3 episodes? No.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think I could recommend this show to anybody. Like, to be honest with you, like, I don't know who I would recommend this to because it's got those things you have a difficulty recommending to people.
Right.
The first episode drags so much that I went and checked the time on it to see, like, has this been like a 40-minute episode and I didn't realize? No, it's 25 minutes.
You want to know what made it worse for me?
Like,
I was watching it on the Funimation site.
mm-hmm. Oh, did you get commercials as well?
Oh man, I had to get every 5 minutes. I had 3 commercials, and it was always the same exact commercial for Funimation.
Oh.
And it's like I can deal with ads and stuff. Like that's why I went to the site. It's like I can deal with ads for this because I couldn't watch the dub on Hulu. And then every time, like the video would constantly like disconnect while it was in an ad, so I would have to go back and do something else. It was just a mess.
Yeah.
So it could have been a better watch experience, I think.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm curious if the other seasons/shows of this show are better.
Well,
but
the thing is,
because they're newer, right? Like they're 18 years newer.
Like 2 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I don't think that was FLCL Progressive. Alternative. I'm trying to figure out the episode list so I can see when all of the different ones came out. Season 3 was 2018. Season 2 was also 2018. And then season 1 was
2000 or something.
Jesus.
Yeah, 2000.
That's
so this is
2003. Oh wait. Okay, Wikipedia is definitely not right because it says first episode date 2003, final episode date 2000. So I'm gonna go with that's not right. Progressive and Alternative came out back to back. There you go.
So yeah, it's a rough thing to watch. I as I said, I don't think there's anybody I could actively recommend this to.
Yeah, I did not enjoy it.
I liked the actual animation when they were.
I mean, the animation
stuff,
is
they did
good, especially for the time.
That's what really.
It's really good for 2000, like 2000 style animation for anime. This is really good animation.
That's what really like caught me off guard. I was like, wait, is this actually like 2000s? Because it looked really clean. So.
But other than that, it's. Oof.
All right.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
I
wouldn't recommend this one. It's just it's a mess of a show, especially nowadays. It would have been probably more interesting at the time, but nowadays it is a mess of a thing that is out there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm interested to see what the newer seasons are like. Simply because
I am, but I don't want to watch the rest of it to find out.
Don't worry. I'll take the plunge because I have nothing but time to kill right now.
Yeah, there you go.
But I'm legitimately interested because I heard good things about the show, and you don't bring back a show after 18 years unless there was a reason to.
Yeah.
You know? So maybe I'll give that a look
A whirl,
in the next week or month or year or so. But
Give it a shot. See what happens.
yeah, it's definitely I can't say I particularly enjoyed the voice acting. I can't say that the style was something that I really hooked onto either.
Right.
And again, what the fuck was the story?
I have no idea. Couldn't tell you.
There you go. I made the mistake of choosing this week's show, so my hands are clean for next week. You can throw me under the bus for this one, but I'm going to be driving the next one.
Cool. So yeah. Did we already kind of discuss some stuff going on what we were going to do this week?
No.
No? Okay. We were looking at like the shows with the best dub, correct? Isn't that what brought us on to? Isn't that what brought us to Fooley Cooley, and then we didn't even watch the fucking dub?
Because we made a point of choosing a show that had a dub,
and we didn't even watch the dub. Wow, we're the worst. Well, I mean,
you didn't miss much.
Yeah, I found it really weird that Hulu had like just one episode that was dubbed and everything else was subbed.
Yeah,
that is very, very strange.
The weird part is like every other anime I've watched on Hulu has been like sub season, dub season, and they list the videos separately because they have hard coded subtitles.
Right.
And this was just sub for the first 4 and then deal with it.
Yep. It was definitely strange.
And the dub for this show was very, very, very hit or miss.
Yeah.
Because 50% of the voice actors were early 2000s good, and 50% of them were early 2000s terrible.
Yeah, so I mean, it's an early 2000s. It's a 20-year-old dub, and old dubs are notorious for being all over the place and usually pretty bad.
Yeah.
So I don't think anybody missed much in that regard.
You didn't. No, I was there. I saw it. I participated in the dub experiment. It was a good time. Nothing bad happened.
So, for this next coming week, do we want to pick something off that list again?
And actually watch a dub, probably.
I mean, assuming you can, like, the dubs exist. Like the full dub. I had access to the full dub of that show. I just watched it in normal Japanese because that's how I watch anime and how I enjoy it. So it doesn't matter much to me.
Right.
I had to look around to find it, but yeah, it's out there.
Okay.
Where's the list?
I don't know. I don't know where the list is.
It should be in the Weebs channel. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? 7 Deadly Sins is top of the list.
Yeah,
I mean that would make it easy because it's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix. There is a dub for that. The dub is actually professionally done.
It's one of the same 12 voice actors dub, but that doesn't make it bad. It's a joke.
Yeah, I mean, when you're good at what you do, you're gonna get lower.
Yeah, it's I know most of the voice actors in 7 Deadly Sins because I've watched a season and a half of it. So.
Yeah. I am not up to date on that show because the 3rd season came out. So I've watched the first 2 seasons of 7 Deadly Sins. This will be interesting.
I'm interested to see what Dale thinks.
Okay.
I am as well because there's not a lot of other shows I'd say that are like this one. It's an interesting premise and twist on things.
Okay. Cool.
It's kind of a twist on knights and Arthurian legends type stuff still. So it's
interesting. Okay.
It's like fantasy and.
Yep.
I'm in. I'm down. Hopefully it'll be good.
Definitely not a pervert, so we're good.
Wait, I feel like you might be now.
No, that'd be crazy. You think this is some sort of anime? Jeez, man, this is a Netflix show.
Awesome. So yeah, next week we're gonna watch Seven Deadly Sins. That's on Netflix. We'll watch the first 3 episodes of that. I feel like there hasn't really been much going on. I feel like things are just kind of boring for us all right now.
It's been a
Well, not so much like Copper's just super fucking busy working on a lot of NDA stuff. So let's correct that. Copper's not doing.
Hey, you know
boring
what? There
things.
was a pretty big cool announcement this week, though.
Which announcement was that?
So, you know how every single convention in the world has been canceled?
Right.
For good reasons, yes.
For good reasons. So Funimation has actually taken it upon themselves to host an online anime convention early June.
Oh, that's cool.
They're going to have panels, they're going to have voice acting table reads and voice acting Q&A and Q&A with producers and cosplay contests and stuff completely digitally, just kind of like filling that void and doing meetups and stuff online.
That's cool.
Yep.
It's very cool. Like, especially, I was just bitching about the Funimation site, but like, hell yeah, that's awesome. It's super cool that they're putting out their resources to do something like that.
Yeah, they don't need to spend resources making their app work better. It's flawless.
Please fix it, Funimation. I will literally use it if it works. That's
so bad.
That's my line. I will pay
It's
for
like
it.
every other app in the world. People will use it if it actually functions.
Yeah.
I've had this conversation with multiple people because it's like anime. Ever since about 2016, we've been in like the golden age of internet anime where it's extremely easily accessible. But the problem is that all of the websites run like 2008 Netflix didn't really exist or work. So I've had my issues with Verve not downloading subtitles because that's fun and I definitely speak Japanese.
Yeah.
I've had issues with Funimation just like breaking all the time. Crunchyroll's the only app that consistently works for me, so that's the only one I use. Like, please fix your apps, guys.
Yeah, I haven't. Like, I tried Funimation once and it just literally didn't work. It's like, okay, bye. I'll never touched it again. Never will. Unless I hear that it's actually good. So,
I have not watched Kaguya-sama season 2 yet, and it hurts my soul.
Well, you should watch that show that you just said that I know how to pronounce. I promise.
You didn't like Love is War. Don't worry about it.
Oh, is that show? Yeah, that show was.
Another show I'm not a fan of. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's another one of those like trash can slice of life shows that I need to watch.
Yep.
Also in other news this week, B&A finally released their last 6 episodes.
Yeah, other half of their season.
That's cool. So like the full season's out now then, huh?
Yeah.
Yes,
full season's out. It came out on Wednesday.
Cool.
Which is dope.
That's pretty cool. That was a show that I did enjoy.
That one I'm really excited to finish because it was fun. But you're probably gonna wait for the dub, right?
Yeah, I will.
Man, it's a good thing that the Tower of God dub starts this week on Wednesday.
Yeah, didn't you say it was gonna be like a few weeks behind?
Yeah, so it's
so you're gonna like episode 1.
It's not so bad though.
Yeah, this week will be episode. Well, considering most dubs never come out until
after the season's done, like
whole season
usually
is released and done.
So they're putting this one out pretty early.
It's only 6 weeks behind. That's kind of crazy. And the list is out. The cast looks good. I'm excited. I'll probably check it out because I just need more content.
I have yet to start reading it, even though I'm completely caught up and I want more.
Yeah.
Just because I'm trying to do other things in my off time right now.
Well,
like what off time I do have.
I've been discussing with one of my friends that I know. They've been watching it and they've been debating whether or not to read it because me and another person that he knows are both reading it, and I'm talking to him while he's catching up. And I told him, like, just wait until the anime ends season 1 and then start reading it.
Yeah.
Because like at this point you're halfway through. might as well wait until the anime ends and get that full first season and then just jump off from there, because I think it'll be a better starting point.
Did they confirm it's only 12, 13 episodes for the first season?
It's only 13 episodes for their first season. They have confirmed no second seasons. But all things considered, I'm pretty sure there's going to be a second season, considering A, it's the most popular show right now. B, they was popular enough to put a dub in halfway through the season, and it's also their first real collaboration with Webtoon.
Yeah.
And it looks like they're really ramping up that, because they have God of High School and Noblesse also coming out in the summer.
Mm.
So I don't think they're going to stop right here, especially with all the hype that's surrounding it. I'd be surprised if they're not already in talks for a second season, and especially because most anime is made to sell manga. Webtoons are free.
Yeah.
So they're going to make a lot of money off of just being a Crunchyroll original.
Yeah.
As opposed to, yeah, exactly.
If I'd be surprised if they don't move to a longer season format, honestly.
So I was talking about this. There was one arc I was discussing with someone, and another person was like, wow, this sounds cool. I'm really excited to see it in the anime. And I told him straight up, if we get one season, every other anime season, 12 episodes, you're not going to see this for 3 years. Like, there's just a lot of content to go through. It needs to either be a long-running anime or it needs to have regular seasons.
That's how I think. If they move to a long format, I think it would do better for them. I wouldn't be surprised if that's what they're going to do, just because of the first season is basically a test season. 12 episodes, test episodes,
Sure.
basically. So they're like, well, this is a webtoon. There's no money behind it. Would say or something else behind it with you, like you would with say a Shonen Jump show.
Yeah.
So to push that or help with the cost. So they're probably fronting a lot of the cost on this.
Mm-hmm.
Test it out with a single season. Season does super well, which it is. It's basically the most talked about anime that's out there right now. Then move it to a long format show like Black Clover, Naruto, that kind of stuff, right? It gives them a perennial thing to keep people on their service.
Absolutely.
So,
and
if you can get something like that, it'd be so good. That's why things like Disney Plus release The Mandalorian one episode at a time, right? So people didn't binge it, then drop their service after a month. It's, get them over time, and then they get used to having it, right? So... And once you're used to having something, you don't want to give it up.
I had Disney Plus for 3 months and didn't watch a single thing on it. And then Clone Wars.
I got Disney Plus for a year. I paid a year up front. I watched Mandalorian, watched Imagineers, Company to watch Imagineers. Other older cartoon shows and stuff that they have on there that I like. But I also have other people on my account as well, right? My girlfriend uses it, my parents use it, and my brother and my niece use it. So, I don't mind paying it for a year for most of my family to watch stuff.
Gotcha, yeah.
I have
that makes sense.
5 people on my account. None of us use it.
Yeah.
I was having a conversation with someone this past week because we were talking about Clone Wars. Like, oh, the Clone Wars episodes are finally out. And they're like, oh, I'm going to go watch that. I don't remember the password to the Disney Plus account.
Nice.
And it's I'm glad I have it. I still browse it and I still watch stuff. I just watched Avengers again last week. It was great, but it's going to be very helpful because I feel like I'm running out of stuff to watch.
Watch the Imagineers show.
Yeah, I know.
Trust me, if you're interested in Disney or interested in how their parks work, or how theme parks work in general, or if you're interested in design, you will love that show.
Mm-hmm.
It is super fascinating. So look at some of the stuff they give you. I don't think we have much in
nothing going on really,
or anything.
Right now.
Hey, do you want to turn into the Star Wars podcast?
I haven't watched any of that stuff, so
it's good. Okay. That's good.
It's good.
It's very
beautifully
good.
Animated.
Yeah, that's what I hear is from everybody. It's good.
They mocapped Ahsoka and Maul, and it looks Dope.
Awesome. Yeah.
We did get Star Wars news. They cast Boba Fett
Yeah.
for Mandalorian.
Boba Fett's coming back.
Wait. Well, that would be before Return of the Jedi.
No.
So yeah.
No, it's after.
Wait, what?
Boba Fett
Yeah, it
didn't
would
die
be
in
after.
the Sarlacc pit.
Wait, he did?
He did not die in the Sarlacc pit. He lived.
Oh, great. Okay. But
Or,
he's-
That's been an extended universe thing for forever.
now, here's the thing. This would be the first time we see Boba Fett after that point. If
Right.
its current timeline, he could be in flashbacks or a flashback episode. We
Hey.
don't know who trained our main character.
Hey, you want to know something else? We don't know that he's playing Boba Fett, though. We just know that he was cast in Mandalorian.
I think they announced he was Boba Fett.
I didn't see the name Boba Fett. I saw it in articles and stuff, but
wait, who is Boba Fett?
Tamura Morrison, I think is how you pronounce his first
Yeah.
name.
he played Jango Fett in Attack of the Clones.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And he was the face for all of the clones as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what that makes sense, and that's kind of what I figured.
it's the one actor. If you're gonna cast him, you
Right.
cast the guy whose face it actually is, right? Like,
Yeah.
But here's the question: is what if he's playing one of the clones?
I mean, technically, he is playing a clone. I mean, Boba Fett is a clone.
You know what I mean?
Right. He could be.
Like I was leaning towards like, what if he's playing Rex? What if
That would be
Rex is
pretty
alive
dope if
still?
he was Rex. But I feel like Rex would be much older.
I mean,
Because it would
Jacob
have
goes
to
a long
be.
way.
It would have to be after Rebels, and he's an old man in Rebels.
Yeah, he's got a big old beard.
Yeah, big old belly too.
They could definitely make it work. I'd be
I mean-
interested to see it because they're crossing over Ahsoka
Yeah,
into
like
Mandalorian
he
season two.
would fit. He would fit. I'd be
So-
interested to see it.
Yeah, they're saying that he's reportedly going to play Boba Fett.
That's the thing. I haven't found a single like he is
That's what
playing Boba Fett. I've seen he's been cast.
Yeah, I think that part is speculation because it also says in the same article that he's going to join season 2's reporting new cast members, Rosario Dawson, and was it Michael Biehn? Gain? I don't know how to pronounce his last name. From Terminator, as an unnamed bounty hunter, right? So that guy's supposed to be a bounty hunter. They're thinking he's supposed to play Boba Fett. We know Dawson is playing Ahsoka.
Yeah.
I'm excited for her to come back. That's going to be great.
I'm very excited to see how they deal with her in live action.
Yeah, I'm curious as to like just everything. Yeah, because there's also been rumors that Ezra might be in there as well. I don't know if that's been confirmed or not, but like I've heard a rumor about that. Of them
The
casting
Hollywood
him.
Reporter are the ones who's saying that he was cast as Boba Fett. They're pretty on point when it comes to casting stuff.
Right. We'll see.
The more I think about it, the idea of him being cast as Boba Fett and Boba Fett being in Mandalorian season 2, the less I hate it.
I don't like it. I dislike it.
I didn't like it initially, but then thinking about it, it's like, well, he's alive in extended universe. Well, it would make sense. Well, it's relevant.
Okay, so how is he alive? How did he survive in Legend?
Killed the Sarlacc and crawled out of it.
Yeah, the Sarlacc takes a really long time to digest its food.
Uh-huh.
So because of that, he was able to basically crawl out of it.
Got it.
Yeah, like it is one of those like side story things that when you're walking around a convention, you'll have somebody come up to you and be like, "Hey, you know Boba Fett's actually really cool, and he didn't die in the Sarlacc pit. They just didn't do him justice in the movies." Like that's the kind of way you'd get that information is someone really mad their favorite character died in the 6th movie.
Yeah, so its sources, and they don't name them, of course, because reporting, are saying that he's playing Boba Fett. It's not been officially announced.
Interesting. Okay.
We'll just have to wait and see.
Again, he is technically a clone, so he could be a clone of Boba Fett. I mean, there's no saying that Boba Fett didn't clone himself. to create his own kid just like the same way. Right?
Camino was destroyed before he was old enough to do that.
Yeah, but he could have went somewhere else for it.
Camino was destroyed shortly after Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, but Camino was used for cloning for mass production of clones. So if you just wanted one, I'm pretty sure you could probably find someone else.
Look at the Camino and Scientist that was in the first season of Mandalorian.
Yeah. So who knows? Maybe the child is a clone of Yoda. Like,
God, no. I would not. I hope not, at least.
Maybe Mando is a clone of himself.
No, that doesn't fit.
I mean, it's more than likely he is playing Boba Fett just because of the actor's age at this point.
Right.
It fits.
I mean,
Sure.
It fits the timeline.
Like, it either have to be, he'd either have to be playing a old clone, like Stormtrooper clone.
Could be Rex.
Or, Boba. Yeah, it would probably make more sense as
Rex. I think I would enjoy it being Rex more, to be honest.
Because Rex and Ahsoka went on a bunch of buddy cop adventures.
Oh yeah,
that's why that makes a little more sense, because we know for sure that Ahsoka's in it.
Yeah.
And we know that Rex is still alive.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure Disney said that Boba Fett died. So,
I think they tried to retcon it. So, and that's not necessarily bad. Like the entirety of like everybody being so happy that Boba Fett lived was because everybody loved him and thought he was a great character when he has less than 5 minutes of screen time and dies almost immediately.
You didn't even get to see him. They just think the armor looks cool and they're like, he's the best. It's like, is he?
You ready for this? So my freshman year college roommate was a massive Star Wars nerd.
Right.
Loved it. Everything about it. And his favorite character was Boba Fett. And I brought up that come on, man. Like, he's had 5 minutes and he dies just immediately. He's like, yeah, but when he's introduced, Darth Vader walks up to him and says, no incinerations. That means he incinerated a guy once. Do you know how hardcore that is? And like, he fanboyed over that line of speculation that maybe at one point Boba Fett set somebody on fire.
I mean,
he's
got a flamethrower.
Bounty hunter. Like, he's got a flamethrower. He probably did at some point.
Yeah, but like that was the basis of him liking this character. He was like, oh, he sets people on fire.
Yeah, the people who like Boba Fett based on what you've seen of Boba Fett are fucking idiots. Like, if you base the fact you're like, this is the coolest character ever from the movies, he's got like 7 lines in the movies, and one of them is his death scream.
I have a Boba Fett mug because I think Boba Fett's cool, but I don't think he's like
the best character.
No, I just think the armor's dope. I like how he looks. I remember fighting him in Star Wars Jedi Academy because he didn't die in that timeline.
But here's the thing: in every timeline, Boba Fett gets his ass kicked.
Oh yeah.
Like, every time he shows up, and because you never play as him, he gets his ass kicked by you. Like,
I want to point out that Jango Fett was infinitely more badass.
He was. Also,
well, Jango Fett was actually trained. He would have actually been a Mandalorian, right? Or was he not a Mandalorian?
No.
It should also be noted that the Lucasfilm story group were directly asked during one of the Star Wars Celebration stuff if Fett was alive, and their response was Boba Fett is both simultaneously alive and dead in the Sarlacc, and they called him Schrodinger's Fett. So
that is a I don't want to tell you right now because I haven't made the choice answer.
And they've in all their publications, like, because there's like anthology stuff they published out. The last note on Boba Fett is that he was pushed into the mouth of Sarlacc. Like, that's it. Like, that's the last entry for him.
That is one way to keep the story open-ended.
Like, they could do something with him, but at the same time, like, it's fan service in a way that is excessively pandering because he's not a great character. Yeah. And at the same time, I think if they brought Boba Fett into The Mandalorian, it's going to take focus off of The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Like,
well, that's the problem with that is everybody immediately was like, when they got The Mandalorian, they were like, oh my God, he's going to be just like Boba Fett. It's like, well, Boba Fett wasn't a Mandalorian. Neither was Jango Fett. They stole Mandalorian armor.
Yes, which is actually Disney canon.
Yes,
he is Boba Fett is not a Mandalorian under Disney canon. Neither is Jango Fett.
No.
So it makes less sense for him to be playing Boba Fett, whereas he could be playing Rex, who has a direct connection to Ahsoka, who we know for sure is in the show.
That's exactly why I brought it up.
Yep.
That is exactly why I thought that was.
They have the same goddamn face. Like
Exactly. No, and that's one of the things that always like kills me is when you watch like Revenge of the Sith. So you watch Attack of the Clones, and then Jango Fett dies. You're like, all right, we're done with him because the clones all have helmets. Then you watch Revenge of the Sith, and it's like, hey, look, it's Jango. Hey, look, it's Jango.
Yeah. And it makes more sense for Rex because of how older the actor looks now.
Yeah.
Right, as well. So
they just got to give him a big white beard, and he's ready to go.
That's it. Like, give him a beard, have him grow a beard out, dye it white. Bam, done.
Oh yeah,
Love it.
Great.
That would be dope. I would very much enjoy that, actually.
Especially after watching those last couple episodes of Clone Wars. No spoilers.
Oh yeah, it was so good.
Would I straight up told like my friend, I was like, have you ever watched the Clone Wars series? Like, no, I don't really care. And I was like, okay, watch the last 4 episodes, thanks.
Yeah.
Then he texted me like an hour later. He's like, okay, that was pretty dope.
Yeah. Did he know who Ahsoka was with like before that?
I gave him a little bit of context for Ahsoka. I basically said, hey, so here's the deal. You don't need to know everything that happens in Clone Wars.
Right.
There's a lot of filler. There's a lot of side stories, but there's a lot of interesting stuff I'd recommend watching. The only thing you need to know, Ahsoka is Anakin's Padawan. She's very similar to him now. And she also has been excommunicated by the Jedi Council for false accusations, brought back, and then she left of her own accord because she doesn't trust them anymore because they're evil. And he was like, yeah, okay, yeah, the Jedi suck. I get it. Let's go.
I mean, yeah, they do.
That was...
Oh, that. I don't think I didn't realize.
What?
Not related. Minecraft Dungeons and Greymoor come out the same day.
Ooh.
What day is that?
May 26th.
Nice. I did install Minecraft with RTX yesterday.
Yeah.
Holy crap! Are you ready for the most infuriating experience of your life that you never experienced because I did it instead?
No.
I thought that was you streaming.
Oh, I honestly don't want to talk about. I'm
know.
so infuriated right now.
I wish I could help you with the tech stuff on that too. I looked at it, I was like, I have no idea. So
I'm at my wit's end. Like, hopefully, I got some things working with some tests. Hopefully tomorrow can be back to normal. But like, it's been a rough week for me.
Like, I looked at it and was like, well, he's tried everything I would normally try, so.
Oh yeah, that wasn't even the full list of everything I've tried. I've done micromanaging on all of my settings as well. And game settings and so Minecraft RTX. Okay. So they have the beta out for RTX ray tracing for the 2060, 2070, 2070 Super, 2080, and 2080 Ti. You can download Minecraft Windows 10, put it in beta, and use RTX. That sounds so simple, right? All right. So here's what I had to do. First, I had to get Minecraft Windows 10. That's the easy part. I had to download the Xbox Insider app, sign up for Xbox Insider, go through 8 separate menus, and then go through another hidden menu and select RTX, uninstall Minecraft on my computer, reinstall Minecraft on my computer so it had the right beta mode. Then I had to go to NVIDIA's website, find a specific article, go down 3/4 of the way and download 2 texture packs, install those in a separate folder from actual Minecraft folders because they're weird. Then I had to go into Minecraft, launch the game, change all of the texture packs, and then turn on RTX.
Now, wasn't this the thing that you didn't want to talk about?
No, that was streaming.
Oh, okay.
All of that took me about 2 hours, and if you want to know if there's anybody in the world that will tell you how to do it properly, there isn't. Because the Microsoft website says, download it from the store, you'll be good. The Minecraft website says, talk to NVIDIA, you'll be good. And the NVIDIA website says, talk to the Minecraft guys. We promise they have it together. And every YouTube video says, just download it, forehead. It's ridiculous because the way that they set it up, it doesn't work in normal Minecraft worlds. You have to be using an RTX resource pack.
Got it.
And they don't give you an RTX resource pack, even though NVIDIA made some. Like, but I'll probably be testing that out because it does look pretty.
Cool.
I love ray tracing and wasting technology on Minecraft.
I mean, yeah, it's Minecraft. It's
Oh, hey. Speaking of games and disappointment, did you guys watch the Xbox Inside Xbox stream?
I watched some of it. It was a ton of indie games, which, like, okay, cool. Like, they don't look like bad games. First off, but if this is your first in a series that's going to be taking place over the summer, showcasing stuff,
you want to come out of the gate swinging and not say we have Assassin's Creed gameplay.
It's like, we have Assassin's Creed gameplay. Cool. They did their own announcement. People already hyped for the game. They're not going to get extra hype that it's on Xbox when it's coming out on PC at the same time.
Right.
Well, the issue was that Microsoft said we're going to have the first official gameplay from Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Yes. Yeah.
And everybody was like, that's awesome. And then Ubisoft said, guys, go check out the Microsoft stream. They're going to have the first official gameplay of Assassin's Creed Valhalla. And everybody was like, it's happening. And then the stream happened. And guess what? There wasn't.
There was no gameplay. It was just like cinematics and shit.
Yeah. And it was in engine, but there was no actual gameplay. And everybody was like, we just wanted to see gameplay. But I did find my new guilty pleasure, though, which was Bright Memory. That was the game that everybody mistook for Titanfall 3 for about 12 seconds before going, aw, in disappointment. And then realizing that you could pull out a giant sword and going, what? And I figured out that there was not only a version of that game that existed, but it was on PC and available to download, so I bought it and played it, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
it's I wish they would have shown something unique. And as we talked about before, that's excessively hard for Microsoft now, because even though they went on a buying spree for studios, I don't think those studios have anything to show yet. And in addition to that, everything that is a Microsoft exclusive is on PC. Like, there's still no reason to buy a Microsoft console, a new one, like the new one they're putting out, especially given what the rumored prices are, when you could use that same money to buy a PC and do more things.
I mean, hey, at least it's not as bad as Apple, who instead of spending $700 for a full gaming PC, you could buy 4 wheels for your Mac Pro.
Yeah, I mean,
I just love that. It's stupid.
Apple's sadly kind of lost their way in a lot of places. So,
ever since like 2010-ish, I think they've been.
It's pretty much since Jobs passed that they kind of lost their drive and direction.
I think even a little bit before that, things just started going downhill, and then
they did, because I think he stepped back a little bit because he was dealing with cancer, right? And that's a hard thing to go through and do. So, obviously you put the priority in trying to get, past cancer, because it's a bitch. And then he passed away, and their company's kind of not been doing the best intelligent things like they used to be.
Dude, I got rid of my iPhone. Like
iPhones have become kind of a running joke. Their iPads are still good. They're still fine, thankfully.
I want to get an iPad Pro with a pencil.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that myself, just so I can sit in bed and draw.
They're just so nice and easy to use, and they have Illustrator and Photoshop on them.
It's the fact I can sit in there, paint and draw in my bedroom, rather than sitting here at the desk all day. And hang out with a girlfriend while I'm in there, because she can't really hang out in my office. Like, there's literally only one chair, and when I'm sitting here looking at my screens, I'm looking at a wall where it's not like there's another place to sit. So For that. So, but if I was in the bedroom or in the living room, like I can lay on the couch or lay in bed while we have one of the TVs on and, watch something with her while I doodle, or read manga on it, which would be a lot easier as well. So, I've been thinking about it.
Even now you can read webtoons.
Yeah, and I've been thinking about that. So, and it's not like I don't know how to use Apple products because I use them for years. I know the industry standard, though.
Apple products are pretty easy to figure out too. They're very user friendly.
They're idiot proof.
Yeah,
like Apple made their OS very, very idiot proof. You can't change the stuff on an Apple system that you can on a PC. So, I mean, if you're ever thinking of buying like your grandparents or your parents who aren't good at technology a computer because they're like, I'd like a computer, like just one I can check email and go on Facebook, maybe play, some like Farmville or Candy Crush, something like that. Go with Apple over a PC because they're not going to be able to break it.
See, so the best part is you say that my mom has a MacBook and man.
Okay, some people will break them, but the majority of people, generally speaking, your parents or grandparents won't be able to break that computer, like the operating system. Now, if they have administration privileges, you can mess them up if you're really not careful. So, do the smart thing and don't give those to your parents or grandparents. You'll get less tech calls on the phone.
Yeah, I've been home and my mom's been working from home. So anytime she has a computer issue, I have been the go-to. Now, and so here's the thing. I don't never have, and probably never will have a Mac. So I don't know all of the ins and outs of them, regardless of, if you asked me to do something on my Windows computer, like I could do anything. I've talked to people through building them. I've talked to people through reinstalling OS, flashing BIOSes, all of that fun stuff. All the weird stuff that you think I'm going to break it, I can deal with that. I've been asked to find stuff on a Mac, and I could not tell you where it is because it just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, Kaylee has a Mac, and I don't use it very often. And whenever I do, I'm like, I don't know how to use this fucking thing, but
they're organized. They're organized quite differently. Yeah.
And that's the thing. It's not even like, oh, this is stupid. It's just I don't understand this. Like my mom's been like, how do I get Zoom to work? I was like, download it and launch the applications. Okay, I downloaded it. Where did it go? I was like, I don't know. Where do things go on Macs when you download them? The void?
It kind of depends. You do have to, if you want to set a Mac up, they're pretty simple, but you do have to understand how they work.
Yeah. One day I'll understand how Macs work.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how at all. I do a little bit every once in a while with hers, but I always hate it and I bitch the whole time.
Dude. Oh, well, if you're not bitching about it, you're not a real PC user.
Oh, no, I use my Windows PCs all the time with usually no issues. So.
Yeah, it was like, see, if you had a Windows PC right here, I could help you out.
See, I was like when I was still working for other people, Macs were what we used, right? So for years, I would use Macs during the day at work and then come home and use my PC. So I'm literate in both, which is great.
See, what I love for so many years, like the quote unquote art industry, because
yes, Macs are standard in the design industry. Macs
are standard. I had one of my favorite teachers. His name was Flash, by the way. I'm not kidding. Legal first name was Flash. So he was sitting in the class, and I was talking to him about building computers and stuff, because he was talking about, I built my computer like this many years ago, and I got this and this and this, and I was talking to him about it because I understood, and I built my computer, and it was cool. And then somebody in the class was like, well, that's stupid. You guys should just get Macs. And he stopped the class. He was like, all right, how many of you have Macs? And like most of the class raised their hand because it's a college art program. Most of them have Macs. Like even in just college, most people have Macs. It's kind of the standard. And he was like, why do you have a Mac? And this girl, the same girl who just told us that we were stupid for having PCs, was like, well, it's what artists use. And he was like, you're an idiot because Apple sold you that lie. Every single program you run on your Mac, I can run equal or better on my PC and better on this laptop.
And then I can email it to people and not have like combating fucking file types and shit.
Well, no, with the art programs we use for Adobe is the art programs you use in the design industry. Adobe programs, their files do not care if they're Mac or PC.
Okay. Well, there's a lot of programs that do have issues like that.
There are fonts, which are, because they're fonts, massively used by designers, are different on Mac and PC.
Right.
So if you have a font on a Mac system and someone designs a file using that font and then properly saves it so it compiles the font and all the images and stuff, then sends you that folder, right, and you're on a PC, you'll be able to open the folder, all the images will work right, and all the fonts will be broken.
Perfect.
Because the fonts don't work on a PC from Mac.
I've been working on like a private project recently, and man, I had to go back to download new fonts. Browsing through fonts to find a single font that works exactly for your project. I think I went through 5 pages of sans serif before I found one that was okay, and then I edited it.
Yeah, font choice is a bitch. It really is a bitch. Like, it was a cornerstone for a project I just finished a couple weeks back, and it's like I spent, I think it was 3 hours going through fonts, like just finding one that worked. And then because it had to be
really
like it had to be one that worked. It had to be a Google Safe font. So for those who don't know, Google has its own fonts that will show up properly on websites and stuff like that. So it had to be one of those fonts, and it had to have a font family, so it would have various weights and usages of that font that could be used. So it took me hours to find a font.
Yeah, because a lot of fonts will have like one set.
Yes, it's like, here's the font, and there's no
font, and then font or bold. Like half the time they skip out on italicized. And...
Yeah, there's like normally, like a lot of fonts will have like a regular and a bold and maybe an italicized. But if you need like a book font or a medium font or a semi-bold or, you know, fonts that are italicized in those things as well, so book, medium, or semi-bold, there's not a lot of fonts like that. So you have to go through all these fonts, check their family, see what's there. Then you got to make sure they're Google safe. Then you got to make sure they don't cost an arm and a leg, because here's the thing: some fonts will be thousands of dollars, which, you know, is insane, because you don't want to spend that on a font, and your clients usually don't want to spend that on a font. So, like, or if you ever ask someone's like, "Hey, can you make me a custom font?" Be prepared to pay through the nose, because they are expensive as shit, because they are a pain in the ass to make.
Damn.
Yep. So I took a look at stuff that's coming out. I mean, game-wise, Draymore and Minecraft are probably the big things coming out soon. Just a couple weeks now, which isn't too bad. Hopefully people will still be alive by then. I mean, I don't know how stir crazy people are getting. Because I know up here, at least, they're not easing up on the quarantine stuff anytime soon, so.
So yeah. Yeah, what else we got going on?
Work, which I can't talk about.
Yeah.
I'm starting a big project on Monday. I don't think that one is actually NDA. The client never mentioned it being NDA. It's just, for those who don't know, my habit is just not to talk about projects unless someone tells me it's not.
Right.
But it's a big animation project, so like it's a stream overhaul for someone.
It's hentai.
So
it's making hentai.
Like a lot of hand-drawn animation. No, I wouldn't hand-draw hentai. I would refuse that job because it would take too goddamn long.
Not because he wouldn't enjoy it, because it would take too long.
It would. Like, there's a lot of, like, the more moving parts in an animation, the longer it takes.
That's jiggly tits, guys. That was code for jiggly tits.
Well, it's tits, its penis is moving, its vaginas, it's fluid. It's fluid motion is a pain in the ass to animate, by the way.
Yep.
Because it has to be smooth, right? It has to be a smooth motion. Otherwise,
You
it
don't
doesn't
want
look
it
like fluid.
chunky. That sounds like a terrible time.
Yeah, it doesn't look like fluid if it's, if the animation is off. So, no, I'm going to be animating flowers.
Ooh.
Oddly enough.
Cool.
Also, pain in the ass because flowers have a shit ton of petals.
Yeah.
So that's going to be fun. Other than that, there's more stuff for GCX, which is pretty much all I can say on that.
Fun.
Doing a thing for Dad Got Game. Just finished the thing for Fef. A couple things actually for Fef.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
And I got to finish up a thing for Vlad as well. So, I mean, and to answer Pengu's question in Dale's chat, yes, Pengu, I do.
Oh, so
There's no kappa there. That's just a yes.
do you want absolutely not hentai story time?
Sure.
Oh God, maybe.
So, you guys remember that wonderful show we watched a while ago? That time I got reincarnated as a slime.
Sure.
Yes.
So they've put out 3 web episodes.
Are they bad?
No, they're actually great.
Okay.
Lovely, I love
Are
it.
they porn?
Well, so the first episode.
He just slides around the question.
So the first
Possibly
episode is
porn.
titled Butts.
Butts. Okay. I mean, remember, our main character is a slime.
Yes.
And as we saw from interspecies reviewers, the reason we're comfy noped out is because of the slime girl.
So the it starts totally normal, but our lovely slimy boy is like, wow, I can't sleep. So he has a doctor make him medicine so he can sleep, and then he just has a weird ass dream where he decides that they need a national pastime, and obviously the only acceptable national pastime is sumo wrestling. So
Okay.
they go through the whole like shebang of explaining it and all the shenanigans. Then they have the sumo tournament. They go through the men's side, and they all like, and the joke is like, yeah, if you win, you get to use this girl's lap as a pillow for the men's side. It's great. It's fun. It's hilarious. The men do their thing. Then they do the women's side. They go 2 matches, and they end up breaking the ring so there's only about the size of a tree stump. Now, at this point, they decide, hey, you know what? Let's just take the 2 hottest girls and we'll make them do butt sumo. Right?
Okay.
Where they're standing on this essentially a tree stump and pushing each other with their butts. Now, I want to point out, I'm sitting in my office, I'm watching this for research, and it zooms in on the butts, and my door opens up. And my family was asking for me to come to dinner.
Yep.
So my mom's at the door. She's like, "What are you watching?" I promise I'm watching anime. Are they naked? No, they're not. They're wearing clothes. You can see that. And she's like, "It looks like they're naked." It's like, okay, they're not. This is the worst possible screen for you to walk in on, but okay.
No, there's worse. There's
No.
way worse.
From this show and this episode, this was the worst possible screen
Okay.
for her to walk in on. She then proceeded to ask me if I liked anime where the girls were naked. It was just an entire experience, and the best thing is I was sitting there, I was like, you know what? It would be really unfortunate if someone walked in here, but I'm so glad that my family has respectful, normal boundaries. Yeah, the zoom on the butt sumo was not great.
Yeah.
But that's my almost hentai story time. And yeah, High School DxD could have been worse, but you know what? I will never watch that anywhere where anyone can ever see me because, oh my god, the intro has boobies in it. Like, you gotta like sit in a corner where no one can see your screen to watch that.
Yeah. Definitely not in public.
Definitely not in public.
Not on the public bus. You will get assaulted. Probably not, actually.
No, but you'll probably get kicked out of the bus.
Maybe.
I mean, hey. Copper, we should watch Queen's Blade.
God.
I mean, if we really want to harm Dale.
No.
No.
Dale doesn't need to be hurt. He's a sweet boy. We'll make him
Am I
happy.
though?
No, but let me lie.
Oh, okay. All right. Is that about it today? We don't really have a lot to go on about, so.
We don't really have a lot to talk about this week.
I mean, not a ton is going on. I mean,
Yeah.
There's no new shows out as of yet. We're still waiting for the next, batch of stuff game-wise to come out. Most animes are kind of delayed, so we're not getting a super bunch of new stuff.
Did we
Right.
talk about Last of Us last week?
We did. Yeah.
Yes.
I think we talked about Last of Us for like 2 weeks in a row. So.
Cool. We're great.
Yeah.
I think that's really the big topic.
Yeah.
So what did we decide on watching again?
7 Deadly Sins.
Yeah.
Yes, that was it. So
That one will be easy and accessible for everyone.
yes, yeah, everybody can watch that easily on Netflix. It's fully dubbed,
Yes.
so not hard to get a hold of.
Mm-hmm.
Assuming you have Netflix or know someone who does. I mean,
Or
kind of ubiquitous nowadays.
yeah, let's chill for Netflix. Hashtag not sponsored but willing.
All right. Well, where can
I would
people
100% be
Um,
okay with being sponsored by Netflix.
where could people come watch Comfy shill for other things?
Well, you can watch Comfy when his stream isn't broken at mixer.com/Comfamous, or you can find him complaining about his broken stream at Twitter at Comfamous.
Oh, is it broken? Oh no.
Oh, I'll give you a quick rundown in a minute.
Okay.
When we're done.
All right.
Definitely.
Copper, where
where can people find you?
Yeah.
You can find me online at Copperline Art, CopperlineDesigns.com, as well as Twitter and Instagram. I really need to post more stuff on my Instagram because I have not posted there in a while.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's where you can find me.
Mm-hmm.
My old busy self for the next little while.
Yep.
There's some interesting things in the works, though.
Interesting.
And then Mr. V.
You can find me. I'm Mr. Vengeance. You can find me at Mr. Vengeance TV pretty much everywhere. Instagram, Twitter, Twitch. I almost said Mixer. I'm forgetful. All right, but that's it. Next week, we're going to be doing 7 Deadly Sins. So stay tuned for that, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye, everybody.